Hey everybody, today's episode of the R&R&R show is brought to you by Funagain. And welcome friends. Look, it's a throuple. It's three of us here. Got two guys in Vegas, one guy in Southern California, and we're going to bring you the R&R&R show. Welcome friends, Richard and Chris. How is Vegas treating you right now?
It's dry. My lips are so dry. I got up to his hotel room 2 hours ago to get ready for this. And my first question is, please tell me you have chapstick. I don't care where it's been. I will take it. But nope, my Pacific Northwest lips are just, they're cracking under the pressure.
I was hoping that the answer would be, hey, I was hoping that the answer would be, hey, we just happened to throw in a quarter in a slot machine and now we're millionaires. But of course,
that would have been a better answer.
That would have been a better answer, but it also would have been a horrible lie.
Yep.
Oh,
we don't approve of that kind of gambling. Actually, I have no problem with that. I mean, do what you got to do, folks. Have fun.
Exactly.
But please gamble responsibly.
Yeah,
exactly. Please do. Please take those words into consideration, folks. We are doing our first R&R&R. Sort of like this is a new thing.
Yes,
we're all
the three of us together. Rahdo, awesome. Ruel, and Room and Board Chris.
Yeah, super excited. Now, it is. We should start things off talking about our sponsor, Funagain. They've been very good to the show. They've helped us grow. They've sponsored us. They've given us a lot of support. Richard, thoughts on Funagain?
I mean, Funagain Games, for folks who don't know, is closing down their online retail. They are still going to be a very thriving and popular brick and mortar store in Western Oregon. If you ever get a chance to go visit them, say hi. But I mean, they were the first online board game retailer over a quarter century ago, 27 years ago, they got this going. And back in those days, if you wanted to get all those cool Euros, back when they were called Euros because they were only available in Europe, Funagain was the first people to bring them over. They were, at the vanguard of helping board game media become a thing. They sponsored Dice Tower for years. So they have always been a huge part of the board game community. And, it's just a sign of the times that, after, we are all still in a recovery period from the last few years. And we have seen some other publishers go south. We are starting to see retailers go south, and they have had to pull back. They were doing logistics stuff. They were doing online retail, and they were an amazing store. And now they're just going to stick back to just the basics. And I'm very sad. I mean, I've bought several games from them online, and I am certainly very appreciative that they have been bringing you folks the R&R show monthly for, over a year now, and the Rahdo rounds up too.
Yeah.
As it happens, I need to go find some new sponsors. Anybody out there interested? Let me know. But I just want to doff my cap to Funagain Games. Truly helped push this industry forward in a way that very few can claim. I mean, they're up there with your tabletops, with your Will Wheatons, as far as I'm concerned, in terms of the impact they have had on the hobby we all love.
Yeah, I'd say even more. Right? Yeah, like they're kind of synonymous with they're one of the big names out there, and I think this is a huge sort of announcement, and it's exactly that. You can see that we are in a recovery period.
Yes,
but the effects of the pandemic are still hitting people hard. And people are trying to get push things forward, and sometimes you just have to scale back.
Yep. So long live Funagain. But I look forward to going by. I mean, I live not too far away from them, so I'm lucky. But they've been great, and again, a huge friend to the show as well. So thanks to Rick and everybody there.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Yeah. We are very grateful for their sponsorship and their support of the show. And speaking of shows, we've got a great one today. We're going to be talking about
we do
the top 15 games we'd buy right now.
Yes. Let's feast on the bones of Funagain as they shut down.
What's great is it means deals for you.
Exactly. It does.
Get that liquidation sale.
Yep. Yeah, apparently I got a email from them. They're actually going to be doing a series of liquidation events. The first one they're starting this week right now, the week of, what is this? The week of the 8th that we're filming this. They're doing 10% off everything in their store. Off their, I hate to say this, off their already low prices. Everything is now 10% lower. And they are going to be doing additional stuff in the coming weeks. So you can actually sign up for a newsletter to hear more about that.
Yeah.
But, this is what we've been doing for every month for for quite a while, just looking through their catalog of stuff that really jumped out at us. And each of us has 5. We are going to combine those into a top 15 countdown, and as a way to say sayonara to Funagain online retail.
That's right. Okay, so why don't we kick things off? Chris, you got our number 15 for our list.
All right.
Well, my number 15 is a game that I haven't played, but I love the theme so much. I just think it oozes theme. I love that it feels like this hidden gem. I feel like it might have been in between print runs for a little bit. You play giant frogs that are gobbling up pieces of land, and that's Cosmic Frog. When I looked through their sales, and Cosmic Frog is currently, it's like 22% off or something like that. And so I like deals. So I'm obviously going to gravitate towards things that.
Yeah, because that's a big miniature game, right?
You got your like little frog minis of gobbling up the frogs. There it is right there. And you're gobbling up land, and you're trying to control like area control and please the even bigger frog god in the sky. Talking about theme, if we're talking about theme, this
zoom a little more, zoom a little bit more, and it'll go full screen. If you zoom like 2 or 3 more levels with your mouse wheel, you're starting to zoom. More, go, keep zooming. There you go. Now you can scroll down, and so you can see a little bit more.
Those beautiful frogs.
Yeah, wow.
The art here just looks so fun. And I've heard
psychedelic.
I've heard good things about it, and so I've heard from people who like it a lot. And it makes me want to try it. And it being on sale, I feel like I also need to bite the bullet because I talk about it as such like a funny game that I need to just buy it and try it for myself, so I can actually like have an opinion on it and make sure that that it does live up to its theme.
Love it.
Yeah, Cosmic Frog is my number 15.
Wow, I did not. I mean, that is not a game that has shown up on any episode of the R&R show.
Yeah.
So you are getting some new content this week, folks.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
That one I did not expect. I've heard of good things about it, but like you, Chris, I've not played it yet, so I'm curious to see how it plays.
Yeah,
now's the time.
I just love it. I just love the idea, and the fact that it's discounted. I'm like, maybe.
Yep.
Would I
Always
buy
a
it?
good thing.
Yeah, I'd be interested.
Okay.
I'd be interested.
Cool. Okay, let's move on to our number 14. This is my choice for our combined list here. Our number 14, I love this game. This is one of my favorite design studios. This is Verdant, number 14. Verdant, so good, folks. This is a game from the people who did Point Salad and Cascadia over there at Flat Out Games. They do so many great things. And this one is a game of putting together, flowers and houseplants in your home and trying to line things up in a tableau that you put. A very puzzly game. Very, very, just so much fun. And I know, Richard, you enjoyed this as well when you were talking
I think it's fantastic, yes.
Yeah. Chris, have you played this one, Verdant?
I haven't, no. But I thought I think it looks great. And I think it's like a really good price point for like a fun,
there's a link to the run through in the show notes, Ruel.
Oh, okay, cool. I was just wondering about that.
I love seeing my beautiful face, but show the game.
There it is. Cool.
There you go. Yeah, I love that. I love that sort of pattern making that you get to do there. It's one that I want to try for sure.
Yeah, it's it's interesting. It's from Flat Out Games, the design team of Molly Johnson, Sean Stankiewicz, and Melville.
I always forget.
Stankiewicz, Melville, and Johnson. And they've really been making a name for themselves. And this one I don't think has gotten quite as much attention. But one of the hottest new mechanisms these days is entwined drafting, where there's a bunch of random stuff put in bundles, and I've got to pick a bundle, and I can never get the perfect bundle. This game really pushes that to the next level because they're programmable bundles, where this bundle has 3 things. You have to pick 2 of the things out of those 3 things, and then the checkerboard pattern of laying the cards out is very, very cool too. This is wonderful. My only problem with it is I constantly say Verdant. And when I made my video for this, I said Verdant over and over again, and people just made fun of me because I don't know how to talk real good.
Yeah, really, it's such a puzzle game. Highly recommend, and I loved it. I do agree that checkerboard placement is such a really cool puzzle to do. But that's our number 14. Let's kick it back over to Richard for our number 13.
Okay. Number 13 is going to be a bit ridiculous because I am literally going to about face from the last top 15 we did, which I don't know if you can see my screen, which was games that replaced other games or destroyed other games. And I'm already regretting having destroyed one of those games. So my number 13 is actually Sleeping Gods from Ryan Lockett.
Nice.
Because that game is so fantastic. And I don't have it now. And I'm literally filled with regret. It's here. Literally just 19 floors below me. Oh, I told them the floor you're on now. Your hotel room.
There you go. There's lots of floors.
Yeah, it's in the Dice Tower West Library. A lot of my games end up going to the Dice Tower West Library. And I mean, I ultimately chose another one over Sleeping Gods, but it is so freaking good. And you get so much value out of this game. There's so much adventure and exploration. And I know not everybody is a fan of the combat in this game because it is, it's a big crunchy beast. A fight in this game is not, let's just roll some dice and then move on to the intro. Nope. We're going to be playing this for the next 45 minutes, this fight, but it's really, really good. And there's so much stuff I love in this game. And of course, the sequel is coming. Was it Skies?
Distant Skies.
Yeah, Distant Skies. Thank you. But you don't want to play that, folks, until you play the OG. So I'm embarrassed, but I literally, as soon as it was gone, I felt a yearning to have it back. So my number 13 is Sleeping Gods.
I love it. Nice. So walking back what we did last episode.
Yes, I know.
Fine.
We'll just change it. We'll just go back. We'll go to that format. We're just going to take all the games that we destroyed. We're sorry. We want you back.
Baby, come back.
We love games.
Our top 15 regrets from last week. That's what we go.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to our number 12. Chris, it's your turn, my friend.
My number 12 is, I'm just checking my order. Yeah, this is the one I'm going with. It's something that I don't currently own and I just should have in my collection, right? It's a small enough box. It's a co-op trick-taking game, and then it's The Crew. Because it's a co-op trick-taking game. It's the co-op trick-taking game out there.
I'm sorry, did you say you do not have
I don't have it. Yeah, I don't have a copy of it. And so like that.
And you are the lead spokesman for the World Series of board games?
Well, it's cooperative, so.
Fair enough. Yes, it makes no sense.
Pish posh.
Good save.
You can play that in the open gaming area and in other fun side events.
Yep.
Good save,
Chris. The Crew and either The Crew or Crew
or the
Deep Sea.
sequel.
Like both I feel are good. I've played both.
Yeah.
My friends have both. And so that's kind of why I've delayed on like not getting it, but I enjoy it enough that I would want to get a copy, and it's so cheap too. You know what I mean? It's one of those games where I'm like, I could just pick if there's a sale on, and you want to get more free shipping,
which happens to be what we're talking about right now.
Wouldn't you know it? If you need that sort of bar to like get it over, that's one of those games that I would throw in there, just considering of like, it's going to be solid, it's going to be a hit with so many people. And that's why I would buy The Crew to help add into that bundle of purchasing games and getting them sent to you and whatever. But it's just I mean, it's The Crew. You've heard people talk about it for ages. I don't think I'm going to add anything else to it. But it does co-op trick taking in a fantastic way that
they said it couldn't be done.
Yeah, that scratches that bridge and euchre itch that I like.
Yeah, so. Agreed.
Yep. Yeah, so that's why The Crew's on my list.
Okay,
fantastic game. Good call. Very, very good call. I think I've only gotten through like 25 of the 50 missions or whatever. I still need to finish.
Oh yeah. That's the other good point too.
Yeah.
You get a lot of value in basically a little deck of cards for under $10.
Yeah.
You could get both copies of The Crew for less than most games.
Yeah.
And get 3 times the gameplay.
Yeah.
For most games. Right. It's an incredible value proposition.
Yeah. I got it from my parents. They love it. Because they're big bridge players.
There you go.
They've never made it past like level 12. I think they're like, okay, well, we died, we gotta go back to the beginning.
Right on.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Cool. We're gonna move on to our number 11, and Richard walked back a little bit, something with Sleeping Gods.
Oh wow, I thought I was gonna be the only one.
You were not the only one, my friend. Chris and I, we talked about deck building last time, and we sort of we sort of trashed, well, not trashed, but we're talking about Dominion and how we prefer,
Yes, you did, and you were both wrong.
Yeah.
Trains is incredible.
Yeah,
Trains is incredible.
Deck building with a board we preferred, but you know what? I'm going to walk back my own comments there because our number 11 is going to be Dominion Plunder.
Yes, I knew it was all an act. You're a Dominion addict. Admit it.
Yeah. Here's Richard's video. Now, the Richard's going through the top 10 Dominion expansions, which Plunder is
which is out of date now.
Yeah, it's totally out of date. But hey, that's the great thing about Dominion. There's so many expansions. There's so much replayability in these games, and yes, it is a static market that Chris and I talked about, static versus dynamic. I still prefer dynamic, but there's a reason why Dominion is still pumping out expansions, folks, because at its heart, at its core, it's a classic design. It works so well. And Richard, have you played Plunder? The Plunder?
I have not played Plunder. I was just about to ask you, what's new in Plunder?
Yeah, I haven't played it, and I'm excited because I want.
So you are that much of a Dominion addict. You just get every Dominion expansion sight unseen, don't you?
Exactly, and that's the thing. As much as we talked about Dominion last week and how we were destroying it, I'm coming clean. I've played every single Dominion expansion, and I'm gonna play Plunder as well. Am I going to add it to my collection? Probably not, because my buddy Daryl, he's even a bigger fan than I am. So I'm playing his copy, of course. So that's why it's our number 11, Dominion Plunder.
Oh.
Yeah, we're walking all this stuff back.
Terrible mistakes we made.
My neighbor has his Dominion system is that he's bagged every single one of the decks, and he has them all just in a box, and you just reach in and you randomly pull out the 10 decks to like randomize with all.
Interesting.
I almost the exact same thing. I got a set of card sleeves that were big enough to be able to hold all the individuals. And they just slid in there, and I can do the same thing.
Yeah, you just pull them out.
Yep. Although I've still got them sorted by the individual expansions. I'm going to grab 3 from that expansion and 2 from that expansion, and it makes it so nice. Yeah. Because I will say one bad thing about Dominion: what the F is up with their box insert solution? Does anybody keep all, what is it now, 13 boxes on their shelves?
Yeah,
with those little. I don't understand.
It's hard. It gets overwhelming. I've played a lot of Dominion digitally.
Yeah,
and that's the reason, because you can mix and match the expansions, and that mix and match is really fun.
Yep.
Yeah, agreed.
All right.
Okay, let's move on to our number 10. Richard, what do we got?
Okay, number 10 is Hippocrates.
Ooh.
Which I'm feeling very good. I think I said that right.
I think you did.
I think I did. Not Hippocrates, but Hippocrates.
Yeah, Hippocrates are a different thing when you're
completely.
When you're smuggling animals.
They'll be showing up later on the list. But Hippocrates is a game. It's actually interesting. It's kind of a overlap. It's from designer Alain Orban, who is one of the 3 designers from Pearl Games. And while Hippocrates is not from Pearl Games, we have a lot of things to be sad about in the board game industry recently. But anyway, Hippocrates is not one of them. It is a very, very sharp game. It's just now coming out available into retail, and I think it's not getting as much attention as it should. If I were to summarize, this game is set in the time of Hippocrates, at the birth of what we consider modern medicine, do no harm aesthetic, and it's basically 3 different games in one. First, you do a worker placement that's kind of reminiscent of the drafting of King Domino. Then you do some more interesting drafting based on what you did in the first. And then you have this very, very cool tile laying element, because you're basically every round you're trying to get the right patients and the right doctors in medicine, and then kind of network them together. It's almost feels kind of like you're building a train game route, except it's all about the birth of modern medicine. And the thing that I remember from covering this when it was on whatever crowdfunding platform, presumably Kickstarter, a couple of years ago, is just how incredibly tight. There are few games I have played where turn order matters more than this game, because this is not a game where, hey, as things get grabbed, stuff comes out. Nope, they're just gone. And players are constantly bumping into each other. You're constantly having to make long-term plans, knowing that half these plans aren't going to work. And I both my wife and I were really impressed. It had really great presentation. Again, Alain Orban, I think of those 3 designers, Sebastian Georgine, Alain Orban, and Javier Georges gets most of the attention, because he's done Carson City or whatnot. But this game was phenomenal. It's brand new, and I hope it works its way into the hotness. I feel like it should, and it hasn't. And so I just wanted to take a few minutes to talk about how much we loved it. I've got a copy of it, and I'm hoping to see more from it in the future.
Cool.
Yeah, I remember when this was out, I think on Kickstarter recently, and I feel like after that initial push, it sort of got quiet. I don't know why it just didn't get hyped up as much as it is, because it looks fantastic, and I know that
it has no miniatures.
Yeah,
that's why.
No miniatures.
No minis. Yeah.
Maybe that's it. Yeah, darn you.
No cosmic frog.
No, it is not. I'm afraid.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to trying this one. Let's move on to our number 9. Chris, back
All right.
to you.
All right. My number 9 is a little game that is very reminiscent of Ticket to Ride. If you're looking for something in that vein, in that sort of like weight category, which I'm not often looking for personally, but it's a game that by Pandasaurus. It's called Skull Canyon Ski Fest. Have you ever played this or
I have not heard of this.
Yeah, if you haven't heard of it, I got it at Origins. And
so you've played it?
Yeah, I played it. I have it. I have it. But it's on sale right now. So
okay.
I was like, oh, that's a fun game. It's like $30 right now, I think.
I've never even heard of this.
And for that price, you're skiing down a ski slope. And how you ski down the slope is you have to chain the same sort of colored routes as the slope, like Black Diamond or Green Circle or whatever. And each slope has a certain number of cards that you need to play to go down the ski slope. And then you can go back up the area. But then after each round, there's this little mini game at the bottom, which is kind of like Parks or Takedo, where you have this worker placement area where you get little bonuses. And so you choose that's what's on the screen right now.
Okay.
You choose how far along to go in the chalet and get these bonuses of upgrading cards, getting additional gear that you can then use to ski on the slopes. And it just helps be more efficient as you're playing through the game.
What is the mechanism you're using to ski down? Are you playing cards?
You're playing cards.
Okay.
It's if you think Ticket to Ride, it's that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I compare it to Ticket to Ride.
It's a rummy-esque type thing.
Yeah, you're collecting cards of the same set. You're playing those sets to go down a slope area. And you can have multiple branching paths. And every time you go down a slope area, you're kind of claiming it. So you want to hit different pathways as well. And then you go back up the ski lift and try to go down a different area. And then people can sort of claim those routes over you as well. So you're trying to balance that out. There's this little Yeti that's on the board too that can cause an avalanche and make everybody shift down one section, so that like if you were planning on going down one section, you'd be like, oh no, I really need to keep that section claimed for myself for these sort of end game bonuses. You can then trigger an avalanche and send everybody down the mountain a little bit more.
That is very cool.
Yeah, it's
honestly I was gonna be kind of, what are you talking about? I don't know about this guy, but no. I mean, it looks like a reverse K2, which is a wonderful race game. Except now we're working way to the top. We're trying to get to the bottom.
Yeah, it's really solid. It fits in that Ticket to Ride area. It is very similar to Ticket to Ride with just like additional, like the feel of it. The actions you can do are draw cards, play a route, right? Go back up the ski lift. That's the basics of it.
And I'll be honest, it sounds like a much more engaging theme than Ticket to Ride.
Yeah,
I got nothing against trains.
Yeah, but and there's a little fun. I like it. Doesn't overstay its welcome. That sort of Takedo and Parks aspect of just moving the person who's last gets to move along the chalet and claiming spots, and that in between area feels fun too. So yeah, I saw it was on sale and I was like, you know what, that feels like a nice one for this list, because at $30, you know what I mean, that's the sort of value that's what you want to pay for it. It feels like a good deal. And
Pandasaurus does good production value.
Pandasaurus does really good production value. This is nice. Like that as well. Yeah, so that's the number 9, Skull Canyon Ski Fest.
I would also like to say thank you to Dice Tower, because I've never covered the game. I'd never heard of it, but fortunately, Tom has covered everything. So we were able to find a video of it thanks to Tom Vassal.
I've never heard of this game. Is it brand new, or has it been out for a while? Was it overlooked?
Yeah, I got it at Origins.
Okay.
I still need to put out like an official review on my channel about it, because it's in my sort of like review backlog. But yeah, that's where I got it. So I'm not sure when it was released, but it might have been released around there. It might have been a product of a pandemic release too. You know what I mean?
Right,
where some of those were released and then nobody heard about them because they weren't released. There wasn't that big announcement. So I think that's kind of what happened with that one. But yeah, really solid in that lightweight category.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned it. I mean, it's probably something I wouldn't have given a second thought to, but that sounds really compelling.
Great choice. Let's move on to number 8. This is back to me.
All right.
I want to talk about last week again. I got a lot of flack for this one, and I'm putting it on the list because I really enjoyed it. I don't care what anyone says. Our number 8 is Beer and Bread.
I
saw it on there.
What did you have it destroy?
Jaipur, and I'm
madness.
By it. I love this game. I think it's fantastic. It's a Scott Alms game. I'm a big fan of Scott Alms, and this one, a lot of people, I think this is an apt description. A lot of people compare it to sort of like it's almost like a mini Uwe Rosenberg game, right? You've got the resource management, you got the hand management, multi-use cards. I love the fact that you're doing this really cool draft, you're playing cards and you have to exchange your hand with your opponent, and that's the first round. Then the next round you're going to exchange cards if you want to with the market, and that changes from round to round. And you're basically trying to brew beer or bake bread. And I like this mechanism. It's a scoring mechanism that I see a lot in Knizia's designs, where you're going to score a bunch of stuff, but your final score is your lowest one. So you can't go all in on beer, you can't go all in on bread. You sort of have to have a balance, and then whatever's your lowest, that's your score. I've played this several times already. I really enjoyed it. I actually streamed it on my channel, and I found out that I was playing a rule wrong, and I was like,
oh,
yeah. And then fixing that rule, I'm like, oh, okay. It's like we were playing the expert variant, because so we weren't giving us enough resources. But with the correction, like, okay, it's a lot easier now. But I love everything about this game. I love how snappy it is. It's only like a 30-minute game, 2 players, great components, fun little theme, and it's a brilliant 2-player game. That's why I'm sticking by it, folks. I feel like this destroyed Jaipur for me. It's
honestly, the more you talk about it, I can't deny how brilliant it is. And my favorite thing about that game, it's kind of a thematic nod, the fact that this little valley that our 2 villages live in, we are both very much waste not, want not, because in a lot of these types of games, hey, often, I can play this card, and it's a really big production, I get a lot of stuff, I don't have every place to store it, I have to give the rest to my neighbor.
Yes.
And I mean, it's a silly little thing, but it's really interesting mechanically, and it's wonderful thematically. And there's lots of nice touches. The way the summer is, you're doing the draft, and certain cards when you play, you're also banking them for the next draft when you get into winter. It's really sharp.
It's so good.
I'm really glad you put this on, because I saw it and it's on like even more of a little bit of a discount, and I was like, I want it, because we're all talking about it last episode.
There it is.
And so I'm really happy that it's on this list, because it almost made mine.
Nice. Okay, great. Let's move on to number 7. Back to Richard.
Okay, that would be mine. It didn't occur to me till just this second. Boy, I'm picking a lot of sad topics. My number 7 is Fjords. And I mention that because the original designer of Fjords, which is a game my wife and I have had forever, for like 12 years, we held on to it. Sadly, the designer of it died, and it kind of lay dormant for quite a while, and was out of print for a long time, and nobody could get their hands on it. But it was picked up, I want to say, by 25th Century Games. I might be wrong about that, but they brought a new designer. I want to say it was Phil Walker Harding. I might be wrong about that too. To dust it off and bring some new elements into the game. Now it can be played up to 4 players instead of 2. There's a lot of extra modules you can plug in. And here's the deal: my wife and I, as a general rule, have a very difficult time getting engaged in any sort of game where all of my thought is trying to block you and stop you from achieving what you want. This is can be considered a relatively cutthroat tile laying game, where the first half of the game is we are communally building up this fjords area by laying tiles, with an eye towards the second half of the game, when we start claiming territory and cutting each other off. And it's really, really brilliant. Amy and Maggie I did a run through of the original version many years ago. They did a run through of the new updated version, which adds all these extra cool elements. And I mean, it is a classic. I mean, from people who have played it, they know. And for a long time, even though it was just a little box, it commanded very, very high prices. So I'm happy it's available. I'm happy it's been expanded and there's a lot more stuff to it. And I've never really talked about it since I covered it many, many years ago. Another thing that is now down in the Dice Tower West Library is my original copy of Fjords, because I want to get a copy of this new upgraded versions. And so I wanted to stake my, plant my flag that I think it's fantastic. Number 7, Fjords.
Yeah, you had me at Tile Lane, and I need to try this game. I have not tried this game. I've heard plenty of things over the years, and I was so excited to see the new version, and it was a nice run through by Amy and Maggie here. But yeah, Tile Lane, that's my jam, so it's on my list to play ASAP.
Cool. Nice.
All right. Cool.
All right.
Good one.
Let's move on to number 6.
Are you next?
I'm next. Number 6. Number 6 is a game I love every time I play it, and I love even more and more. It's a game that's just a little bit on sale, and you know what? That should be enough of a reason to get yourself a copy. That's why it's on this list.
Yeah.
It's Everdell. Everdell,
Nice.
I adore. I adore Everdell. It's so good. the way you build your tableau and interact, and it feels like the 15 spaces feels so expansive when you first start playing, and then you go, oh shoot, I'm gonna run out of room, and then you find creative ways to not run out of room. It's just such a fun tableau builder. It's kind of scratches a similar itch to me as Seasons. If you've played Seasons, I played a lot of Seasons on Board Game Arena, like a lot of Seasons on Board Game Arena. And this gives me a similar itch in just like a better, cuter way. The production quality of Everdell is outstanding.
Yes.
Right? The resources there are so
squishy.
Fun. It's just such a satisfying game every time I play it, and I play this a lot with my girlfriend too, and so
a great gateway game. One of the best, definitely. But without sacrificing, like, oh, I'm just having to put in the time until I can get you up to something good. You don't feel like you're sacrificing as a hardcore game geek.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about table presence. This thing's got table presence for days. I mean, that big tree in the middle, all the squishies, all the great components. Really fun game. It's been a little while since I played it, but I remember anytime I go back to it, it's always a fantastic time. Worker placement I love. So great call. Okay,
all right.
So that's our number 6. Back to me for our number 5. Yet another game I've not played, but I hope I pronounce it correctly. Is it Mille Fiori or is it Mille Fiori? This is.
I have no idea.
Okay.
It sounds like a good. You did good there.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sounds like you done good there.
Okay. Well, I do know.
So put a little bit more of a flourish on it, and I think you'll be set. Just be confident.
This is the Guy Fieri campaign game.
I do know that it's by Reiner Knizia. So right there.
Yep.
Then, you had me right there. My favorite designer of all time. And this one is actually, from what I understand, it's about making glass, Richard. So this may be
it is
something. Yeah. The theme obviously drew me in. It's an area majority game, so it's not going to be for everyone. But it's a Knizia game. That means it's going to be awesome. It's going to have streamlined rules. It's got a rule book that you can read, and it's not 30 pages of rules. It's a couple of pages. You can jump right into it, and you're making glass. You got your workshops, and I've not played it yet, but it is on my shelf back here, folks. I got a copy, and I can't wait to
nice.
and play it. I may be bringing it to Dice Hard West. I don't know, but anyways, this is why it's our number 5. It's over there. I if I could buy it, I would, but hey, I'm very fortunate. I got a copy right now. Y'all know I'm a big Knizia fan, so that's why anytime the good doctor comes out with a game, I'm going to be immediately interested in it.
Yeah, I have played it with Jason Levine, the gaming machine, as it happens. Okay. I played the original European version of the foreign language. Was it last year, I think? And I thought, wow, this design is so brilliant. Except they clearly did not give a hoot about 2-player. Honestly, I felt, and I don't remember specifics now, so I wouldn't take this as gospel. If you're thinking about getting this as a 2-player specific game, you might want to go over to Board Game Geek, go to the forums, and see if people are talking or saying, how's it? Because Rahdo remembers not really thinking it was very good at 2-player, and I remember thinking, and Jason and I the whole way through kept saying, oh my God, this would be so amazing with more players, but it fell very flat. So that is one thing I would say about Mille Fiori. But it's beautiful too. All the little plastic pieces that represent the glass and all of that.
And I think that makes total sense because it's an area majority game, is it? Right?
Yes,
so
exactly.
You want more players than that type of game. So,
yeah.
All right.
More interplay.
So that's our number 5, Mille Fiori. Let's go on to our number 4.
Nice.
Thank you.
Okay. This guy started with a miniature extravaganza. I've got to get one in as well. Number 4 is Endless Winter.
Ooh, nice choice.
Just missed my top 10 of 2022. But I'm keeping it. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Designer Stan Kardonsky, new publisher to watch, Fantasia. Watch these folks. They are doing some amazing stuff. And if you go to Funagain Games, go check out the price. I think your jaw will drop when you see how much you get for an incredibly low price. For that game should sell for twice the cost you can get it for. But all that aside, it is a fantastic fusion of worker placement and deck building. A couple of years ago, there was a coincidence that this thing right here, Dune Imperium, went toe-to-toe in the same year with Arnak, Lost Ruins of Arnak, as these two games. Wow, worker placement for the deck building. I've never seen anything like it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And waiting in the wings was Endless Winter, which, as far as I'm concerned, blows both of those games away combined. And you get awesome art from the Miko and miniatures based on art from the Miko, which means these are miniatures unlike anything you're going to get anywhere else. They're gorgeous. The gameplay is so sharp. I can't recommend it highly enough. It's absolutely fantastic. And when I saw the price, honestly, I had no idea you could get this much game for such a low price. And I highly recommend number 4, Endless Winter.
Yeah,
this
I
was
love that
almost
combination.
on my list.
Oh yeah,
yeah, same here.
Yeah.
Worker placement and deck building. You had me right there, so I'm excited about this one. Okay.
Yeah, it's the production quality of the retail is so good.
The production quality of just the base retail
the base box
blows away many deluxe versions of other games.
Agreed.
Yeah,
100% agree. Like I opened it, I was like, oh, did they send me the
Deluxe
Kickstarter
by
version
accident?
by mistake? Like, I got this? Should just be the retail. But like, it's so well produced, and to have a really good game alongside it.
Yep.
Really good.
Awesome. Cool. All
right.
Great call. Let's go to number 3. Chris, back to you.
3.
This is my last pick.
All right.
So I got to make it the deal of a century.
There we go.
This is the best deal on Funagain right now. At the time of this recording. And it's going to sell out. So go get it right now.
Wow.
This is Crisis, the deluxe bundle. The deluxe edition of Crisis is on for like $20.
Wait a minute. Crisis is the Euro game that is a science fiction retelling of the Greek financial crisis.
Yeah.
They don't want you to talk about that, but that is a really good game.
It's a good game.
It is a really good game.
I played it for the first time this past January at the Niagara Board Game Convention, and it was like one of my favorites that I played there out of everything. Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
And it's worker placement, so you're going to put all your workers out, and then you're going to activate them in order.
Yes.
So kind of like Dominant Species, I think, does and does this, and like the cascading. There's a specific order at which things are activated, so you can get stuff, you can get additional workers. It feels a little bit like Manhattan Project, I find, because you've got your own specialty workers and you've got your own buildings that you're claiming onto your side that will do specific actions, and so you're fighting for control of these buildings. But then you also need the workers to power those buildings. And then what I really think is neat is that if the game can beat you at any point, because it's not cooperative, you're trying to get the best score, but the game can end at any point, because at the end of the game, at the end of each round, you see how far away the game is always at a set point, and you see how far away people are from that and how much above people are from that. And if there's more space below than there is above, then the game is over and whoever's up front wins. And so I love that idea of deciding how you're going to create your engine. And because some engines take a little bit more time to get off the ground, right? But you may not have that time depending upon how everybody else is playing. And so finding that back and forth is really interesting and exciting to me. And for it's like $20 or something. For that price, this is like a no-brainer.
This is a beefy game.
Get it while it's hot. It's really solid.
I didn't think you were going to beat my Endless Winter, but you kind of did.
Absolutely worth the price. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Cool. I have not played the game yet, but just based on your description, Chris, I mean, it seems really cool.
That's an under the radar game.
Yeah,
it was really sharp.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
Okay.
I really think if you like Manhattan Project, then absolutely check it out.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Awesome.
It should be an absolute must buy.
Let's move on. We're on our top 3 now, folks. We're going to number 2 now. I'm flip-flopping all day long here. So we started with Dominion. We destroyed it last time. We brought it back this time, but I'm here to destroy it again. Well, not destroy it, but I'm here to talk about the number 2 game on our list. It is Star Wars, the deck building game. This is
the brand new one that just came out.
Brand new one that just came out. And we're going to be doing, folks, a run through here right on the channel.
Yes, this
I've
week.
already recorded it. It'll be on the channel real soon.
You need to bring that, by the way,
Yeah.
because you're coming to join us in Vegas.
Yes.
I really want to give that a go.
Oh, okay. I was just going to say, I wasn't sure if this would be your jam, Richard, because this is stabby, punchy, facey.
Yes, it is.
Deck building, but it's Star Wars, folks. So, of course, it's awesome. The Force will be with you, or maybe it won't, depending on how you play. But it's
Depending on how you
Star
draw.
Realms type of gameplay where it's very fast, very combo-y. I likened it to, well, a little spoiler, I likened it to the Power Rangers deck builder. So you're going to be able to, like, take cards out of the row from your opponent. It's you have two different factions, the Empire and the Rebels, of course, and the Rebels can attack the Empire can attack the Rebels, but there's also neutral characters like the Bounty Hunters and just other characters that you can bring in from the Outer Rim. Oh, thematically, it's brilliant. I love how quick it plays, 20 to 30 minutes or so, you know, with a 2-player game. And folks, it's Star Wars. I mean, check out the run through when it's on the channel. I had so much fun doing it. I may or may not have worn some Star Wars stuff, but you'll have to tune in back in for the video, folks. That's why it's our number 2, Star Wars, the deck building game.
Yeah, definitely bring that. I am excited. I mean, yes, obviously I am known as the ultimate Care Bear, but I played a lot of Magic the Gathering back in the day.
Well, that's
and
true.
As long as I get to be the plucky rebels trying to tear down the evil empire as played by you,
Yes.
I won't feel so bad
Absolutely.
about hitting you where it hurts.
You're gonna have a lot of fun with it. It's really cool. One thing I should say, I love the way it's set up. Like you know, rather than like typical health points that you're gonna have a couple of bases, and you're gonna have to destroy your enemy's base or your opponent's bases. So you can either do 3, 4, or 5. We can do a quick game 3, but each base has different abilities and different things that trigger. So it's really cool.
Oh,
I can't get enough of this game. It's why it's our number 2 Star Wars.
It kind of sounds a little Radlands like.
Yeah,
actually.
that's what I was
Yes.
thinking.
Yeah.
All right, we got one more, my
Yeah.
friends. Let's do this.
Okay, number 1 on the list. Although actually,
Bring us home.
folks who don't know, we actually live stream this, and you might be watching this a little bit later on. I was just looking at the chat, and after you said by far the number 1 best deal on the site right now was Crisis. They said, "Oh my God, that is amazing." Supplanted only by Unforgiven, the Lincoln Assassination Tour. And if I had noticed that, I probably would have put that, because that is a fantastic Seven Wonders-esque card drafting game that has so much going on. I mean, it destroys Seven Wonders Duel as far as I'm concerned.
Oh,
but
wow.
that was an honorable mention. Thank you to JW Spiker in the chat. But I have to, though, give a shout out one last time to one of my top 10 games of last year, Carnegie. This game is so fantastic. It would probably be my wife's top 5 of the year if I could actually get her to actually, rank everything that way. It's so phenomenal. Again, oh man, I was talking earlier in the show about how poor Elaine Orban kind of labors under the shadow of Javier Shores. And what do? I put a Javier Shores design at the top of the list. I am the problem. I'm sorry, Elaine, but this game, the first time I actually played it with Jen, we were so impressed by it. The engine building of this game, because there's what looks kind of like, you've seen a lot of games like this. Oh, there's the map of the continental United States, and we're actually trying to build infrastructure and create links to get points and all that. And all that stuff is very nicely done. But the trick to do that is we have to send our workforce from our own private board out to the main board to be able to get these infrastructure projects going. But we want to keep all of our workers on our own personal boards, which over the course of the game, we do this kind of little tile laying mini game where we're getting more and more departments, and we are training our workers to work really well in these departments, whether it's logistics or human resources and all of that. So it's really, and every time that I want to do something on the board, which is where all the points are, I have to take all of those workers that I have poured so much into to make them the ultimate HR beast to take care of all these problems and send them out into the field. And so you're constantly this razor's edge balance of, you're really good for me here, but I need you over here now. I'm sacrificing all of that. I could get one more round out of that. And I'm just blown away by it. My only complaint with it when we covered it is, I would love much like deck builders, a lot of times I feel like, man, I just need a few more special case departments, because a lot of the departments that come with the base game are like, well, these are kind of basic. I want some more fancy stuff. There is fancy stuff coming, and it was announced a couple of months ago that this year we're going to be seeing an expansion for Carnegie that's going to be bringing a bunch of stuff, including the previously only available to Kickstarter backers specialty departments, which I'm very excited about. When I heard about that, my enthusiasm, I mean, that could easily push Carnegie into my top 5 of the year. So this is doing double duty. I'm getting to say once again how much I think this game is absolutely amazing, and also letting people know, get it on the ground floor now, because Carnegie is only going to get better in 2023, and that's my number 1 on the list.
Very
cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So many great games, folks. 15 of them that we would buy right now. Want to thank our sponsor, Funagain, again for supporting the show. Any final comments before we get out of here, friends?
I need chapstick desperately.
I need to go buy all those games. Let me tell you, I need to find some room on my shelf for the order that's going to be coming my way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a fun list.
Yeah, great list. Okay, let's that'll be it for today, folks. Thanks again for watching. This has been the R&R&R show, sponsored by my friends Funagain. We'll see you again next time. Take care. So long. Bye-bye.